When the Resident Evil 2 remake dropped at the end of January, it showed us that survival horror certainly isn't dead. Capcom produced a genuinely terrifying game that blew us all away, and the game was the biggest selling in the UK in January despite only being in the charts for 2 days. There is so much packed into this game that we decided to give our reasons why the Resident Evil 2 remake is still worth checking out. Watch out, spoilers ahead. Number 1. Simply put, the game looks amazing. From the facial animations and character design to the dark atmospheric corridors, the whole game has had a redesign and looks shiny and modern. The cutscenes have also been changed and updated, and at some points you forget you're watching a clip from a video game and not a movie. The game runs super smooth, and gone are the static camera views, and in its place is the over-the-shoulder third-person view. And with the free roaming camera, you really can spend as much time as you want examining whatever you want. Number 2. Lots of new stuff. The remake is jam-packed full of new things. There are many new areas to explore and maps have changed and updated. Think that a licker would jump out at you at this corridor because it did in the original? Think again. Think you know what's at the end of the corridor? Nope, now it's a dead end. Capcom have chopped and changed a lot of things and it really keeps the game fresh and exciting. For those of us who have played the original first time around and memorised puzzles, corridors and boss fights, we will now have to start again from scratch. It's nice to see so many new things introduced. A whole range of new areas, new rooms and weapons really add to the survival horror feel that the original captured well so many years ago. The enemies throughout the game have also had an update. From the zombies to the plant creatures inhabiting the lab, enemies are faster, smarter, much more aggressive and persistent. Zombies can now break through doors, they may start shambling towards you but then all of a sudden they can move at lightning speed, and in a tight cramped corridor this can be challenging, and you start to wonder if it's going to turn into a fight or flight situation. Zombies also seem to have random health, as some take a lot of bullets to kill and others seem to drop pretty quickly. Location damage is applicable, and you need to take time with your shots, which in a fast-paced fight can really build up the tension. Now I can't really talk about the new additions without talking about Mr. X. While not a new enemy, he is now included in the first scenario as opposed to just appearing in the second one. An enemy that stalks the player relentlessly. Mr. X suddenly changes the dynamic of the game. Stealth becomes a factor as gunshots and noise lure him towards the player and makes the sound of footsteps foreboding. This is an enemy that you can't defeat till a certain point in the game, so all you can do until that happens is either slow him down and run, or just run. Number 3, its survival horror roots. This addition to the series really does return it to the survival horror genre. Where other Resident Evil games seem to have changed to a more action-adventure third-person shooter, this one really focuses on creating atmosphere and tension. If playing alone in the dark with the sound on, I guarantee this game will make you jump on a fair few occasions. The dark corridors, use of the torch, footsteps, banging and smashing glass will make you pause the game and try to pinpoint exactly where the sound came from. While gamers who liked the previous installments for what they were might not agree, but it seems to have shown us that survival horror is a genre that is definitely not dead, and when done right, it works very well. Number 4, replayability. So with the remake, you get the 2 story modes for Leon and Claire, which also include the Scenario B run through. As this game has a lot of new additions, the runtime of the story modes can be around 8+ hours, which in comparison to the original runtime from the 1998 version of around 3 to 5 hours. It just shows how much extra is packed into the game. As each character has a different story to follow, it's worth playing both of the characters' respective stories and then playing both of the Scenario B stories as well, just to see everything this game has to offer. Although both scenarios follow the same story, the path that our characters follow branch in different directions as it progresses. Also included is the 4th Survivor mode, as well as various costumes. Also, Capcom have thrown in some unlockable items which are worth playing the game again to use. The Infinite Knife is one of these items. It's a very handy weapon as the other knives throughout the game snap and break off after a certain amount of use. Also included are Jill and Chris Samurai Edge pistols from the first game, and a rocket launcher and minigun which can be unlocked with infinite ammo, but only if you can complete the game within a certain amount of time. Number 5, nostalgia. This game really does have that nostalgic feel that fans of the series will love. For those of us like myself who have played these games for many years, it's amazing to see a shiny new version of the game that is one of the best in the series and holds many fond memories. Leon and Claire, Sherry and Ada, the alligator in the sewer, Mr. X in the police station in general, it really does capture the essence of what made Resident Evil so special in 1998. It seems that this still works 20 years on, and with rumours of a remake of the 3rd installment in this series in development, this is something that fans can eagerly look forward to. Wrapping up, a little bit of extra Resident Evil info for you. A free DLC pack, Ghost Survivors, was released in February. The DLC includes 3 missions where you have to get from A to B and only have a limited number of supplies to do so. While some of us were expecting story-based DLC, Ghost Survivors is a nice little free addition to the game with plenty of replay value. New enemies have been introduced and different modes are thrown in as well. We can only hope that we have some more DLC coming our way in the future. So whilst fans of the series will enjoy the remake, I think it will also appeal to the new generation of gamers for its tense atmosphere, creepy environment and modern visuals. This game is definitely worth checking out even for those gamers who wouldn't give a survival horror a chance. I think they will be pleasantly surprised. This has been Louis for Flickering Myth. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.